Good day. We are the Catseye Consulting Group, and for this video, we will be tackling on how do Dutch Bros, Starbucks, and McCafé differ in their competitive position, financial performance, and strategic capabilities, and what do these differences reveal about their ability to succeed in the competitive coffee industry. Our first agenda is Porter's 5 forces that helps analyze how competitive coffee industry is. First, the threat of new entrants is moderate to strong. The industry is attractive because demand for coffee continues to grow and related food and beverage businesses can enter the market. However, the threat is reduced because competing at a larger scale requires strong branding, good store locations, capital, and consistent profitability. Threat of substitutes is moderate to strong. Customers can easily switch to homebrewed coffee, ready-to-drink coffee, or energy drinks because they are affordable and have low switching costs. However, coffee shops stay competitive by offering better ambience, convenience, customization, and social experience. The bargaining power of suppliers is moderate. Coffee shops depend on quality coffee beans, syrups, and packaging, and this gives suppliers some power, especially when input costs rise. However, large coffee chains can reduce supplier power through multiple suppliers, direct sourcing, and long-term contracts. The threat of rivalry is strong. The industry has many competitors and low buyer switching costs, so firms compete heavily on daily customer traffic. Rivalry is also intense because brands compete on similar dimensions such as taste, price, speed, location, and customer experience. Fourth, bargaining power of buyers is moderate to strong. Customers have many choices, low switching costs, and easy access to prices and reviews. Still, coffee shops can reduce buyer power through taste, customization, convenience, and customer experience. Overall, the coffee industry is highly competitive but still attractive. Competition is strong because buyers have many choices, substitutes are available, and rivals compete on similar factors like speed, taste, and convenience. However, the industry remains attractive because demand is still growing, coffee culture is strong, and brands can succeed through differentiation and innovation. Now let's take a look at the future key success factors. The first is product quality and consistency. Coffee shops must deliver the same taste, preparation standard, and overall quality across branches because customers expect their drinks to be consistent every time they buy. Second is speed and convenience. Since consumers have faster routines, coffee retailers must make purchasing easier through drive-thru services, takeaway options, ready-to-drink products, and digital ordering. Third is customer experience and service quality. Coffee shops are not only selling drinks, they are also offering comfort, atmosphere, responsiveness, and positive customer interactions. Fourth is brand image and market appeal. A strong and trusted brand helps attract customers, build loyalty, and encourage repeat purchases. Lastly, innovation and menu adaptability are important because customer preferences continue to change. Coffee retailers must introduce new drinks, seasonal products, and customization options to stay relevant and competitive. This strategic group map shows how selected coffee shops compete based on the convenience on x-axis and coffee quality on y-axis. Convenience refers to the speed and accessibility through drive-thru, mobile ordering, pick-up, delivery, and store locations. Coffee quality refers to the taste, menu variety, customization, sourcing, roasting, and the overall cafe experience. In the upper right, Starbucks and Luckin Coffee are in the Premium Global Coffee Group. Starbucks is the highest due to its strong coffee quality, premium coffee experience, rewards, and global accessibility. Luckin Coffee is highly convenient through its app-based ordering and pickup model, but slightly lower in coffee quality than Starbucks. In the middle, Dutch Bros and Dunkin' are the convenient specialty coffee group. Dutch Bros is higher in coffee quality due to its handcrafted, customizable drinks and strong drive-thru experience. Dunkin' is very convenient with wide store coverage and fast service but slightly lower in coffee quality as it focuses more on speed and affordability. On the lower right, McCafé and Tim Hortons are value-focused QSR coffee, very convenient and affordable but lower in coffeehouse quality. CBTL is a premium niche brand with higher quality but lower convenience. Overall, the map shows different positions based on speed, price, and coffee experience. Now we will examine the PESTLE factors that affect the global coffee market and industry. For the political factor, trade policy uncertainty is important because coffee companies depend heavily on imported coffee beans. When tariffs or trade rules change, the cost of sourcing coffee may increase, which can affect pricing and profit margins. Another political issue is the growing attention on sugary beverage. Since many coffee chains sell flavored and customized drinks, the stricter government scrutiny may affect how companies formulate, label, or promote their products. For the economic factor, inflation is increasing the cost of coffee beans, ingredients, labor, rent, and other store expenses. This may lead to higher menu prices, which can affect consumer spending. However, the coffee industry continues to grow, especially on specialty coffee and ready-to-drink coffee. This shows that many consumers are still willing to spend on premium, convenient, and high-quality beverages despite rising prices. For the social-cultural factor, younger consumers are shaping the coffee market. Gen Z and millennials often prefer drinks that are customizable, visually appealing, and experience-driven. This supports the demand for specialty drinks, seasonal flavors, and alternatives like matcha, which some consumers view as a healthier option. At the same time, some consumers make coffee at home to save money, while others continue to choose drive-through stores for convenience. For the technological factor, mobile apps, loyalty programs, digital ordering, and drive-thru systems are now important tools for competition. These help coffee chains serve customers faster, encourage repeat purchases, and collect useful customer data. However, stronger reliance on digital systems also increase cybersecurity and data privacy risk. For the legal factor, coffee chains must comply with rules on consumer privacy, labor, food safety, and menu labeling. These regulations affect daily operations because companies must protect customer data, follow wage laws, and provide accurate nutrition and allergen information. Lastly, for the environmental factor, climate change can disrupt coffee supply and increase prices. Companies are also pressured to reduce packaging waste and source coffee more responsibly. Overall, the PESTLE analysis showed that the coffee industry remains strong, but companies must adapt to rising costs, changing consumer preferences, digital demands, legal requirements, and environmental risk. The financial comparison shows three distinct positions in the industry. However, note that the numbers of McCafé came from McDo as a whole since they do not have separate financial statements. For the current ratio, McCafé started with the strongest short-term liquidity, although it gradually declined over time. Starbucks stayed below 1, showing weaker short-term liquidity, while Dutch Bros improved the most after 2022 as the business expanded. For the debt-to-assets ratio, McCafé was consistently the highest, meaning a larger portion of its assets was financed by liabilities. Dutch Bros and Starbucks stayed much lower, showing lighter dependence on liabilities. For the interest coverage ratio, McCafé was the strongest and most consistent, showing that it could comfortably cover interest costs. Starbucks stayed negative across the period, while Dutch Bros dropped sharply after 2021, suggesting that expansion placed pressure on its operating coverage. For the lease liability ratio, Starbucks remained the highest in most years, reflecting its heavier store lease exposure. McCafé stayed lower and more stable, while Dutch Bros increased as its store footprint expanded. For profitability, McCafé led in net profit margin and operating margin, showing the strongest efficiency and ability to keep profit from sales. Starbucks remained profitable, but its margins weakened over time. Dutch Bros showed the biggest improvement, moving from losses to positive margins by 2025. Lastly, for return on assets, McCafé remained the strongest overall. Starbucks weakened by 2025 and Dutch Bros improved steadily, showing better use of its assets as it grew.
Now we will examine the horizontal and vertical analysis of the three companies. The chart shows that Dutch Bros and Starbucks rely heavily on company-owned revenue, while McCafé relies less on company-owned operations. Dutch Bros has a stronger shift to company-operated stores, while Starbucks remains stable, meaning its revenue structure is consistent and still mainly driven by company-owned stores. In contrast, McCafé declined from 2021 to 2025, suggesting that it depends more on franchise operations under McDonald's business model. This is supported by the franchise and license revenue chart, where McCafé has the highest share among the three. Starbucks remain low and stable, showing that franchise revenue is only a small part of its business. Meanwhile, Dutch Bros declined, suggesting a shift toward company-owned stores. For the operating costs, Dutch Bros has the highest operating expense, meaning they spend large portion of its revenue on operations, which is due to their expansion plans. Starbucks also has high operating expenses, and the increase in 2025 suggests rising cost pressures that could reduce profitability. McCafé has the lowest operating expense percentage, which implies stronger cost efficiency because McDonald's franchise-based model shifts many operating costs to franchisees. McCafé has the strongest operating income margin from 2021 to 2025, which means it generated more operating profit from its revenue compared to Dutch Bros and Starbucks. Dutch Bros improved significantly, moving from negative in 2021 to positive in 2025. However, its margin is still much lower than McCafé, and this could imply that expansion costs still affect their profitability. Starbucks remained profitable but dropped to 7.90% in 2025, which may indicate rising costs or weaker operating efficiency in the latest year. The chart shows that McCafé has the strongest net attributable income margin. This suggests that McCafé benefits from McDonald's efficient franchise-based model, which helps reduce direct operating costs. Starbucks remained profitable, but its margin declined from 2021 to 2025, showing weaker bottom-line profitability. Dutch Bros improved from negative income in 2021 and 2022 to 4.87% in 2025, indicating that its profitability is gradually recovering as the company expands. The chart shows that Dutch Bros has the strongest net revenue growth, increasing in the 5-year period. This can be attributed to Dutch Bros' expansion rate, driven by growing market reach. Starbucks shows slower but steady growth, which is expected for a mature global company. McCafé's growth is weaker long-term, which suggests that its revenue is growing but not as aggressively as Dutch Bros. Dutch Bros also has the highest operating expense growth across the periods, most likely due to its expansion strategy. Starbucks has moderate but fluctuating expense growth, showing some cost pressure, while McCafé has the lowest expense growth, which suggests stronger cost control. Overall, our analysis shows 3 different financial stories. McCafé is the strongest in efficiency and profitability, Starbucks remains significant but shows more financial pressure, and Dutch Bros has the clearest improvement trend, although it still needs to strengthen its returns and manage the cost of expansion more carefully. Now we will examine the value chain analysis for the 3 companies. For inbound logistics, Dutch Bros sources coffee from several regions and keeps inventory for stability. Starbucks purchases globally and supports supply quality, while McCafé requires certified coffee from approved regions. For operations, Dutch Bros is drive-thru focus, emphasizing speed. Starbucks transforms coffee inputs into finished products with consistent standards. McCafé uses McDonald's operational system to create a unified customer experience. For outbound logistics, Dutch Bros mainly delivers drinks through in-store and drive-thru pickup, while Starbucks uses its store network and mobile order system, and McCafé uses digital delivery, drive-thru, and pickup channels. For marketing and sales, Dutch Bros relies on community engagement, social media, and promotions. Starbucks drives loyalty through rewards, while McCafé uses McDonald's large-scale marketing campaigns and value offers. For after-sales services, Dutch Bros maintains loyalty through rewards and customer satisfaction. Starbucks provides support through its customer service page, while McCafé uses McDonald's global feedback and support channels. For procurement, Dutch Bros focuses on flexible sourcing as it expands. Starbucks has the strongest supplier system with farmer support centers, while McCafé emphasizes sustainable and certified coffee sourcing. For technological development, all 3 brands use technology to improve speed and convenience. Dutch Bros uses reward passes and order-ahead systems. Starbucks supports ordering payments and loyalty, while McCafé uses McDonald's digital ordering and pickup systems. For human resource management, Dutch Bros builds its culture around customer interaction. Starbucks focuses on training partners, while McCafé benefits from McDonald's large global workforce and long-term employee development. And lastly, for infrastructure, Dutch Bros supports growth through company-owned and franchise shops. Starbucks has a large global store network and roasting facilities, while McCafé operates through McDonald's franchise-based infrastructure. Now we will examine the current strategies of the 3 companies. At the corporate level, Dutch Bros is focused on US expansion with 1,136 shops and a goal of 2,029 stores by 2029. It uses a company-operated and operator-led model which helps maintain control over store culture and service. Starbucks operates on a much larger global scale, aiming for 55,000 stores by 2030. It is publicly traded with a dispersed ownership and uses a global brand strategy while adapting to local markets. McCafé is supported by McDonald's franchise system with a 50,000 restaurant goal by 2027 and a 93% franchisee-owned stores. At the business unit level, Dutch Bros supports growth through strong revenue performance, food testing to increase morning sales, Dutch Rewards for loyalty, and small drive-thru shops for fast service. Starbucks uses its global revenue base, seasonal drinks, food, ready-to-drink products, mobile rewards, and different store formats such as cafes, drive-thrus, pickup stores, and reserve stores. McCafé focuses on breakfast choices, coffee expansion, My McDonald's rewards, and in-store or standalone McCafé formats. At the functional level, Dutch Bros emphasizes efficient shop designs, internal talent development, youthful local branding, responsible sourcing, and reusable cups. Starbucks focuses on faster service, partner culture, third place positioning, greener stores, and waste reduction. McCafé uses McDonald's digital delivery, drive-thru, employee, franchisee, supplier, and sustainability systems. Overall, Dutch Bros focuses on growth and speed, Starbucks on global experience and innovation, and McCafé on franchise scale and affordability. Now we will examine the resources and capabilities of the three companies. For tangible resources, all three firms have valuable physical and technological systems, but they do not create the same level of advantage. Dutch Bros' compact drive-thru network supports speed and convenience, but it is closer to competitive parity because rivals also have strong operating systems. Starbucks has stronger global store and distribution infrastructure, while McCafé benefits from McDonald's restaurant, delivery, and franchise infrastructure. For intangible resources, Starbucks stands out the most because of its premium coffeehouse brand and Starbucks experience. Dutch Bros has people-first image and strong customer connection, while McCafé benefits from McDonald's value and convenience brand. However, most of these are still competitive parity because all three firms have strong branding, culture, training, and customer relationships. For capabilities, each company is strong in a different area. Dutch Bros is strongest in drive-thru execution and personalized beverage service. Starbucks is strongest in standardized coffeehouse operations and premium store experience. McCafé is strongest in convenience and franchise-based cost efficiency. Overall, most capabilities are competitive parity, with temporary advantages for Starbucks brand experience and McCafé's cost efficiency. And lastly, we will examine the three companies using the SWOT analysis. Dutch Bros SWOT shows strong potential but also clear risk. Its strengths are its loyal customer base, fast drive-thru model, and people-centered culture. However, its weaknesses include high expansion costs, limited national reach, and narrower product variety compared to larger competitors. Its opportunities include US expansion, economies of scale, and product innovation, while its threats include intense competition, supply chain disruptions, and changing customer preferences. Starbucks remains a strong global competitor because of its premium brand image, wide store network, and diverse product offerings. However, it faces weaknesses such as market saturation and possible store cannibalization. Its opportunities include emerging market expansion, sustainability efforts, partnerships, and stronger loyalty programs, while its threats include rising coffee costs and strong competition from global and local brands. McCafé benefits from McDonald's global brand recognition, franchise system, and affordable coffee positioning. However, it has a weaker cafe experience and possible inconsistency in product or service quality. Its opportunities include improving digital ordering, drive-thru, pickup, sustainability, and menu innovation, while its threats include competition, supply chain issues, economic uncertainty, and changing consumer preferences. And this has been Catseye Consulting Group.